Hey everybody, thanks for signing up for the third race of the Shelbyville Triathlon Series. Going to do something a little bit different than the way we normally do it. I'm going to use my wonderful artistic ability and some maps to show you exactly what we're going to do Sunday morning. This is going to cover our COVID procedures as well as serve as your pre-race meeting because we don't want everybody gathering around in a big group for that. So if you've done the race in previous years, there are going to be a few changes that you need to pay attention to. If you did the race last month, race number 2 this year, everything's going to be basically the same layout. So let's get started. When you come in, we've always gone into the main building, the front of the main building. This year, we're going to be doing registration. Well, there will be no race day registration, but packet pickup on the deck of the outdoor pool. So everybody will be coming in a gate next to the outdoor pool down here. At that point, you will be getting your temperature taken, and you must have a mask on. When you show up, have your mask on, and you'll be wearing that right up to time for the race start, and then you'll be putting another mask on at the finish line. If you don't have a mask down by the finish line, we'll have some extras down there for you. Okay, so you'll come in, and then the registration will be right at the back of the outdoor pool out on the deck. You're just going to get handed your packet. It will have your chip in it that'll go around your ankle. It'll have your bib number, and then somebody will be body marking you. So that should take care of everything at registration. It's just going to be a streamlined process getting everybody through. At that point, you can go back out to your car. You can set up at the transition area. Transition area and registration are going to open around 7 o'clock, so feel free to come out. You can park in the front parking lot, or you can also park in the back area of the parking lot back here. Just remember, this race is a little bit longer. It's an 18-mile bike ride instead of the 12 you did last time. So if you park in that back lot, you're going to be stuck there for a while if you're one of the first finishers waiting, because you don't want to go out and be fighting against your fellow athletes. So keep that in mind. It's not that far for you to push your bike from the front to put it on the rack. Once the race starts, we're all going to be lining up outside of the main pool area. Okay? We're limited to the number of people we can take into that area. I believe it's 60 in the whole pool area. So we're going to be lining up outside and filtering into the pool. We're going to start self-seated. And we've had just as much luck doing the self-seated swim as we have asking everybody for their time. A lot of people new to this sport have never done a time trial to know exactly what their 400-yard time is going to be. So everybody just use your little common sense. Seed yourself. We'll line up. The first person will line up. Once we go inside, we'll be going around this way and starting on this side of the pool. The first person will start in the water. When we say go, you will start swimming down the left-hand side of the lane. You'll go back up in the same lane on the left-hand side again, under the rope, and continue in that serpentine pattern across all 8 lanes of the pool. Okay? The second person in line, 20 seconds after that first person goes, we'll say go to that second person. There's going to be a mat there getting your time, so there's no need to be in a hurry. Don't crowd that mat or your time will start early. So stay plenty of distance away from the mat till the volunteer there tells you to go, walk across the mat, jump in the pool, no diving, and then take off. Once you get across all 8 lanes of that pool, there's stairs there you can get out, or you can climb out the wall. You will go around the baby pool inside and out through the back doors of the pool. At that point, we'll have some flags up marking you through the grass down towards the transition area. This map doesn't show it, but there's a new asphalt path right here. So you'll come in the side of that asphalt path and into the transition area. Once you get into the transition area and go to your bike, I always emphasize this, but it's very important. You have to have your helmet on and buckled before you can leave that transition area. Okay, so make sure you got that taken care of. You'll go to your bike, mount your bike, push your bike out of the transition area. Okay, once you cross the timing mat, then you can mount your bike and head out. So you'll be going out on the Birch Branch Road here and taking a right. Once you get on the road, some rules and some good suggestions. Stay on the right-hand side of the road. As you can see, Birch Branch here is a fairly narrow road. It's going to be like that for the first mile and a half of the ride. And this is a 3-loop course. Okay, it's going to be the same course we did for race 1 back in the spring and then race 2 last month. But we're going to do that loop 3 times. Stay on the right-hand side of the road. No drafting, which means you must keep a 3 bike length distance between you and the individual in front of you. If you're going to pass that person, you have to go ahead and make that pass. You can't just hang out behind them. If you are making a pass, that person isn't allowed to see you come up beside them and then take off real fast. If you're committed to that pass, they have to allow you to make it, drop back, and then repass you. Okay? Those are the main things on the bike. But just be very careful out there. I'm going to go over the whole bike course in just a minute, but we're just doing the transition. So when you come in from the bike, of course, you're going to pass this entrance twice since it's a 3-loop ride. And on that 3rd loop, you'll take a right into the transition area. You'll go back into the transition area the same way you exited. But slow down once you get into this parking lot. I've seen more pileups on a bike everywhere they're wanting to go full speed right till they get to the dismount line, and then everybody's slamming on their brakes, and it can create a pile up really easy, and you're going to lose more time than you're going to save. So just make sure you're slowing down. You get off your bike, push it across the mat, back into the transition area. Okay. You'll go out of the transition area for the run, down this concrete path, and you'll take a left onto the path. And I will cover the run course in another map too. I think I've got everything right here covered. I will say that after you finish the race, and just for the finish line will be right here when you're coming back from the run. Once you cross the finish line, everybody is going to get an award. So there's no reason to hang out after the race. Everyone will get an award, and then we will post the afternoon the actual results, and you can look online and see what the awards were. The 1st, 2nd, and 3rd overall female will have their awards mailed to them, as well as the series winners. We'll have a male and female series winner that we'll mail out also. So that pretty much covers the transition area and the swim. Give me a second, and we'll switch over to the bike course. Here we are at the bike course. So as we left off, we went through the transition area and actually took that right out of the transition area onto the bike course. So that's going to put us right down here in this area. And as I mentioned, Birch Branch Road, the first road we'll be on, is a narrow 2 lanes, road. And you're going to be on this for the first mile and a half of the course. Then you'll be turning right onto Freedom Way, the bypass. And there is a large shoulder on this road. So you'll be turning from a smaller road onto a wide shoulder. You'll go all the way to the end of Freedom Way. And then you'll be taking another right onto Eminence Pike. Eminence Pike also has a very wide shoulder. It's easy riding from that aspect. And you'll come down. Your next turn is going to be at a stoplight. You'll be taking another right there and going on to a 2-lane road once again. So use caution in this turn especially. On your other turns, you're going from either a smaller road to a very wide shoulder or from a wide shoulder to another wide shoulder. So they're not as big a deal as this one. You're going from a wide shoulder onto a smaller road. So just be very cautious in that corner. There is a church there, so we're trying to get out of there before all the church traffic comes, and it shouldn't be an issue. Then you'll come down there. You'll take another right. and then just go a couple hundred yards, take another right, and that's going to bring you back towards the park. Here you'll see the front gate of the park. Just keep following the road around there, and that's going to be the entire loop. As I said, it is a 3-loop, 18-mile bike ride, so just be sure that you count all the way to 3. We don't want anybody losing track and only doing 2 loops. And you might say, not me, but I've seen it happen in other races. So just make sure you complete all 3 loops, and we won't have any issues with that. Once again, you'll turn on that 3rd loop, you'll turn back into the parking lot that you came out of and enter back into the transition area. So now let's take a look at the run course. As I've said before, if you've done our races in previous years, it's going to be the same course. Last month we did it a little differently because of the softball tournaments were going on. So we'll start down here at the transition area. As you leave the transition area, you'll be taking a left onto the bike path, following that all the way up across the road on down by the baseball field, and then you'll veer off onto the service road going around the park behind the driving range to the back road of the park. Take a left there, follow that down, and then once you get past this parking lot, you'll be taking a right turn onto the gravel road going up between the softball fields. All the turns on the course, bike and run, will have large yellow plastic arrows there, and on the road, everything will be marked in chalk. So you'll have 2 sets of markings, one on the road, and then all the turns will be marked also with the yellow plastic arrows. Once you get between the softball fields, you'll be back on a bike path. Follow it down a hill. You'll go across the creek on a small metal bridge. And since this is an out and back course, use a little caution on that bridge. It's not the widest bridge ever for people to go both directions on, so pay attention on that. And then you're going to get on the road by Lake Shelby. Follow that around. When you get to the main parking lot at Lake Shelby, there'll be some campers and stuff back there. You're going to veer to the left there, going towards the back of the lake. And you're only going to be going, a couple hundred yards down this road before you'll see an aid station here. And that aid station will be located just before the turnaround. So there'll be a cone just past the aid station where you can get a drink, go around the cone, drop off your cups, and then, like I mentioned before, it is just an out and back course. So you'll follow the exact same route all the way back. And when you get back down to the start, you'll go just past the path to the transition area you came off on, and the finish line will be right there. As we said, love everybody to hang around after the finish of the races. That's the most fun part, where we can all sit around and talk and everything. But due to COVID, it's kind of impossible this year. So once you cross the line, make sure you get your award. Make sure you get a mask back on. And try not to hang out for any extended period of time. And we'll have everything posted online that afternoon. And then all the overall awards and the overall awards for the entire series will be mailed out to those people. So thanks for listening, and we look forward to seeing everybody on Sunday morning. Thanks a lot.